Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that Fool. Wonderful. It's been a while since we've had the Fool right off the bat. This is going to be fun, right? You're somebody, I think, who is just, you almost have this like carefree, I don't give a darn energy about things, you know? It doesn't mean that everything in your life is just perfect and hunky-dory. It just kind of means that we've stopped caring about the nonsense. We're done with all the bovine excrement, right? With all the Bravo Sierra, if you will. I feel like you're somebody who has let go of a lot. You have freed yourself from a lot. You've done a lot of that karmic energy work that we talk about so often, of finding those buttons, untying those karmic knots, finding our weaknesses, finding our sore spots. I feel like you've let go of so much that you deserve a day off. You deserve a little bit of repose. You deserve a spa day, a little treat yourself day, right? Very good energy. I find that you have a very good sense of humor. There's something about a yellow house too. Who's got the yellow house? I don't know why I'm seeing the bright yellow house. Maybe it's just the way the sun is hitting it. I don't know. I can't tell. But you know, this could be a very strong connection with nature. This could be a strong connection with just having fun, being out doing anything, right? Just something you're not stressing about it. You're doing things that don't have a purpose to them. You're being a complete fool, right? And it feels so good. You ever watch that show? I think it's called This Fool. Such a funny show. Anyway, it's a high stress. They're always stressing out in that show, though. It's interesting to watch. Check it out if you haven't. I think maybe it's on Hulu. I can't remember. Anyway, I feel like we're involved in a lot of things that aren't producing something, right? That don't have a schedule, that don't have a specific way of doing it. It's just kind of like, I want to go and play in the dirt. I'm not planting anything. I'm not pulling weeds. I'm just playing in the dirt. Maybe I'll see a butterfly. I'll go chase it. You know, just doing whatever sort of comes to you. I think these are wonderful moments in life. And if you can find one of those moments, take advantage of it. Where you don't have to be doing anything for any purpose. You could take a nap, right? But even a nap is for a purpose, right? It's because you're tired. You need to rest. Got to get it where you can, you know. But this is something else, right? And we'll put this into some context. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. This is really good. I love getting the Fool card. I feel like there's some kind of you do some sort of coloring. You know those adult coloring books? I kind of feel like you have one of those. If you don't, get one, right? Get one. I think that's something that you would enjoy. Yeah. Also, stay tuned toward the end of the video. There's a couple of channel announcements. All right. So we've got our Fool. We've got our Star card. Oh, that is great. The Fool and the Star together. We got our Ace of Wands, our Three of Cups, our Princess of Cups, and Five of Wands. So we've got water on this side, fire on this side, and we've got a transition sort of thing in between, right? I think you're going to experience a very huge energy shift. It's going to change everything for you. I think it's going to be a very good welcomed shift. Yeah. Here we have the High Priestess. Here we have the Prince of Cups. The Hanged Man in the position of what we don't want. Okay. And of course, we've got your superhero card, the Knight of Pentacles at the end. That is the cardinal earth energy. Capricorn, that is a card that represents your essential spiritual energy in action. Yeah. So I feel that this might be a liminal time for you, a space in between the sort of the effort, you know, that this is a time where you maybe can and should just relax, just treat yourself, just do everything that you sort of want or don't want, just be sort of carefree for a moment. Because I think your energy is shifting to one that is more watery, more dreamy, more divinely inspired. You know, it could be that I don't know, the Fool, maybe you've walked away from something. Maybe you've literally freed yourself from something oppressive. And you're just ready to put all your effort, because, I mean, you still got this vital energy in you. You still got this flame of the Ace of Wands, right? You've still got this ambition. You still want to do stuff with your life, right? We're not just going to chase butterflies all day, every day. But you're transitioning into a mode, into a methodology that is more divinely inspired, that's more intuitive, that's more led by the heart, that's more geared toward family and friends, connections, intimacy, love, romance, art. Like, that's the shift for you. It's not just, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to be just, focused on this, making the money and doing all this. No, I think that energy is still there, but it's being channeled into things that are more in line with your soul. And I'm so happy that we have that star card. That's really, really beautiful. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here and put Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. Do not forget, Capricorn, you are magic. And we're not going to look at that card until the end. It will tie everything together and give us the confirmation and conclusion that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together as a group exercise. Okay, let's take a look around the room here. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana energies. Very nice. Very, very good. The Star and the Fool. I think that this is a very important idea here, because the Star card, of course, is that twofold spiritual energy, that divine energy that helps us to answer the question, who am I and why am I here? What am I made of and where am I going? The first phase of the Star is where we allow the divine light to enter us and show us where our knots of karma are. Shows us where the work needs to be done. What's blocking the light from filling you up? Right? Where your weaknesses, your sore spots, where your buttons. Yeah. And of course, the Fool is the one that's done that work. The Fool is the one that says, okay, I've gotten rid of a lot of buttons. I've taken a look at all those karmic knots and I've untied them. I'm ready to be filled with the divine light so that it can show me who I am. It's almost like the Star card, that first phase of the Star card, as it's trying to show us who we are and what we're made of. First, we have to get rid of everything that we're not, right? Everything that, we have to learn to sort of jettison the negative. I know I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. I'm not made of this, I'm not made of this, I'm not made of this. What's left over is, well, the pure spirit, the pure Fool, right? So I think this is very, very good energy. I think that this is telling me that you have done a lot of this spiritual karmic work. And there's sort of a freedom that you feel when you accomplish these things. And now we know it's not a finite process. It's an ongoing, lifelong process of sort of purifying our karma, right? There's never actually an end to that work. We can never be completely empty of that, right? Every thought, word, and deed is creating new karma. But what I'm seeing here is that you are letting go of a lot of old stuff. You're completing a lot of these other sort of karmic cycles, and you're very much aware now that every thought, word, and deed is creating new karma, so why not create some good karma for yourself, right? That's what the Knight of Pentacles is doing over here. So this is the way that you have freed yourself from the bonds of your karma, and you're ready to create the good stuff, right? And that sort of brings, creates in us a magnetism, right, where all the good stuff is going to come to us, and we're going to be led toward all the good stuff because you've you figured out the secret. You're being led by your star. You're being divinely guided. You're navigating by the starlight. Okay? Very, very good. We have now the Hanged Man and the High Priestess, and look at that. They are just about mirror images of each other. Right? They could be inversions or opposites of each other, right? Look at that. And the High Priestess, of course, is you accepting that light. The High Priestess represents the full moon, the widening of the psychic aperture, the opening of the third eye. It's the acceptance of the light to come in, right? And then the Hanged Man, alternatively, would be sort of maybe not letting it come in, right? And, of course, the Hanged Man is in the position of what we don't want. And when we're over here doing that karmic work, and we freed ourselves from that, we do not want the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man is saying, I still need to suffer, right? The Hanged Man is the one that is sort of acknowledging all of the karma, the negative karma, and saying, I still need to redeem myself from all of that. I still need to work. I still need to suffer all of that karma, the consequences, the results of that karma. And this is the energy, I think, what we don't want. We don't want this. We don't want to continue to suffer for things that are done and over with, gone. We've dealt with them. We've worked them out. We've let them go. Don't continue to punish yourself for things, right? That's what this card is about. This is why we don't want it. I think you've done enough of this, okay? You've done enough of this. So we really are, this is the position of the energy we do not want when we're over here. This is really, really good energy. We've got our fire. We've got good water cards. Don't have any swords cards, and I think that is fine. What we do have in terms of air, though, is the Fool, pure air, and of course, the Aquarius energy, the star card, right, is that fixed air energy. So in other words, we don't want the swords because we're not trying to debate. We're not trying to figure things out. We're not confused. We're not looking for answers. We're not asking questions. We don't have doubts or worries. We're not stressed out. We have emptied our mind, and we're allowing the divine wisdom to fill us up. This is all the air we need. Empty mind, and then being filled with the divine light. So we don't need any swords cards. It's perfect. This is perfect for you. I'm kind of blown away by the energy that we have. The Fool, the Star, just all the major arcana we have are delicious. The Ace of Wands underneath everything, yeah, you still have this ambition. You're still somebody with a lot of good ideas. You got a lot of vitality in you. I feel that you are you're a strong, hard-working person. You like to have things to do. You like to have projects. You like to immerse yourself in something and work to complete it and to do a good job. And it's kind of like, when you're focused on something, that's it. That's the thing. You're the mountain goat, right? You're going to climb the mountain all the way to the top. Nothing's going to stop you, The idea here is that you want to climb the right mountains. Because that goat, that devil energy, any mountain, you put it in front of anything, it'll climb all the way to the top. Good or bad, right or wrong, right? Put yourself in front of the right mountains, and let's see what you can accomplish, and how good that feels, and what kind of experience that brings you, what kind of karma that brings you, yeah. So I feel that this is a certainty almost in you. This is your ability to focus, and I think what you're focusing on, obviously, is the water energy, the princess of cups here. You're focusing on your dreams, your real, the expressions of your soul in that sort of imaginative, it's an irrational sort of way, right? And it's kind of like the Fool and the Star are showing you what things in life you really want and trying to show you that a lot of these things that you have just in your head, like I think you're somebody with an intense imagination, that all these things you have in your head, they can be real. You can manifest them. You can accomplish those things. You can aspire to these things, whatever they are. I feel like you probably keep a dream journal, or you should. I feel like you have some sort of a notebook. And I don't know if there's like a lock on it, or there's some sort of, if it's encrypted in some way, but I feel like maybe it's written in code. It has all of your deepest desires and deepest wishes and dreams and fantasies in it. And Spirit's kind of saying, like, those can be real. Those can happen. You can bring those to this realm of, earthly reality in some form or fashion. Okay. Now, obviously, when we bring things to the material plane, we have to sort of follow the material rules. But these things that you have inside of you, you can bring them forth. Okay. Whatever these dreams and hopes and wishes and aspirations are. And I feel that this is what you're focusing on now, rather than maybe what came before where you weren't. Maybe you weren't focusing on these. Maybe these were just something you kept privately. Maybe you just wrote them down and they were just sort of your secret thing. Now it's kind of like, I'm going after these things. Yeah. And that to me is that's the best life, But the past position here, we've got a 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is your ability to express what you want in life. It's Mercury in Cancer. It's kind of saying, it's kind of you able to articulate and communicate what you need in terms of your feelings, your emotions, your environment, your relationships. Maybe this is really where you were able to sort of communicate with yourself what kind of life you really wanted to lead or live. And this has kind of enabled you to let go of a lot of things. If we know what we want, we can recognize what we don't want, and we can untie those knots. We can disentangle ourselves from those fences. You see. And I think that's sort of what began all of this. I do think that you've let go of something. Yeah. The Fool has definitely let go of something. There is this sense of a joyous sort of freedom here. And it's almost as if you have, you've packed just a little bag of your essential things, and you've left right in the middle of the night, and you're following the starlight. That you're being navigated by your star. You're fulfilling your destiny, and it's a joyous occasion. There's no sadness or sorrow here. See, that's the interesting thing. Because we don't want the idea of punishment or sadness or sorrow or sacrifice. And maybe this is joyous because you finally have said, look, I'm not going to sacrifice my dreams anymore. And I don't know that if you left a job or a relationship. I feel like this is just sort of one day we were thinking about it and we just said, you know what? That's it. I'm not going to sacrifice my dreams anymore. And so we're able to articulate that to ourselves and maybe to whoever else is around or whatever, is going on with you. I don't know the details, right? But this is the realization that you've got all of this potential, creative potential, emotional, spiritual potential, right? The potential for the right sort of connections and for following. You have all these dreams in you that are still in potential form. There are 3. It's not 4 yet. It hasn't been manifested yet. So it's almost as if we woke up one day and we said, I'm not going to waste any time anymore. All the potential that I have in me, all my talent, all my skill, all my creativity, all my love, all my joy and inner beauty, I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to let it go unfulfilled. I'm at least going to try. And I don't know if it was a spiritual awakening, if it was a dream you had, if it was just you woke up one morning and you had this fire, in you. But the Five of Wands in the future is you doing just that. You're out there sort of fighting to manifest these dreams, to fulfill your potential, to live that kind of life that we're talking about. This doesn't mean you're going to succeed all the time. This means that you want to go out in the world and strive for it, fight for it, okay? And that you're willing to go on this journey that will be beset by hardship and struggle. But you're going to be struggling anyway. Why not struggle for something that means something to you, that sort of represents your essence? Why not? You're going to be fighting for something in life. Why not fight for yourself? Fight for what you love, who you love, family, friends, all of that. Like, that's the focus. And I think that's the big energy shift now is a shift of where you're putting all of this, all of your devil energy, that Capricorn, I'm going to climb the mountain all the way to the summit, all that ambition and endurance and perseverance. You're channeling that now to things that mean something to you, to people and places and things that resonate with you, that harmonize with you. Life's a fight either way, right? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It supports the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Also, there is another channel. It's Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories, where I read to you because of the season. There's some spooky stories, but there'll be some suspenseful stories, some fun, lighthearted stories as well. I'm trying to get back into that storytelling channel and do more work over there. So please go sub that channel and listen to those stories. There will be more coming. Also, I wanted to do something kind of fun on this channel. If you have any questions that you want to ask about me or about the tarot or anything like that, I want to do what they used to do back in the day, where the audience would mail a letter in to the studio and it would be read on air. It'd be a question or a comment or something, So I feel like that's something fun we could do every once in a while. There is a mailing address down in the video description. If you want to mail something in to the studio, please do. I think that'd be a fun thing. I will read it on air and we'll talk about whatever it is or answer the questions or whatever, I don't know how it's going to work yet, but I think it would be pretty fun. All right. So, general energy is that high priestess. This is you being completely open now to whatever's coming next for you. Opening ourselves up to that divine light. Opening ourselves up to the starlight, because the moon obviously is a reflection of the sun. The sun is a star, your star. So in a way, it is you being very receptive and receiving the messages that these two sort of signify or symbolize. Okay? And your general energy is one of very, very open and receptive kind of posture toward the divine. The Fool doesn't really have the map. The Fool doesn't have the course all plotted out. The Fool is navigating by starlight. And this is you opening up your third eye, opening up your heart, opening up that psychic aperture to take in more of the divine light, more of the starlight, the sunlight. Yeah. Obviously, the sunlight filtered through the lens or the aperture of the psychic perception. Okay, and so I feel that this is one reason why we don't have any swords cards. That you're not trying to reason your way. You're not mentalizing or intellectualizing. You're not calculating. You're not weighing the pros and cons. You're not debating what you're doing or what's coming next or where you go or what decisions to make. When you're confronted with choices, I feel like you're using your divine guidance. You're using the intuition, right? And it is the intuition that shows us the way to paradise, right? Because right after the 2, second mystery of the tarot, comes the 3, the Empress energy. I wonder if that's going to be the mystery card, the Empress. The High Priestess shows you the way, moment to moment, to the Empress energy, to that paradise, to that sort of perfect, place for you. That perfect life, that destination life, sort of, let's say. But we've got to be open to that. Okay, and sometimes it's scary to not have any swords cards. Sometimes it's the mind is going to rebel against that idea of sort of staying out of it. The mind is a funny thing because it's never happy. It likes to have choices, but then it doesn't like to have too many choices. It likes to have things already determined for it, but it likes to feel as if it's the one making the decisions, right? It's kind of never happy. It's just a paradox, right? X equals Y to the mind, So it's difficult to sort of get out of that mode, that way of sort of that circular sort of thinking. I want choices, but I don't want choices, I want you to decide for me, but I want to feel like I'm the one deciding. It's difficult to transcend that and to sort of, and in a way this is even more sort of paradoxical because we're letting the divine decide for us, but you are the divine, so you're sort of deciding for yourself. So all things are true at once, But I think we're getting out of the mind in the sense that we're not perceiving it to be any kind of an opposition. We're not perceiving the paradox. There's no incompatibility there. So anyway, I think this is very, very important for you right now to be intuitive, to be guided in that way, and to not try to not to think about things too much. We start to think about it, we start to doubt. We start to perceive too many alternatives, and then the mind says, okay, I'm overwhelmed. There's already too many alternatives, And then we start to doubt, and then we start to despair, and it just sort of, it's a slippery slope cascading down to the 9 of Swords. We don't want that. We don't have a single sword here. Let's not start. Okay? The next card in the environment is the Prince of Cups. And this is the commitment to those dreams that we see here. This is the artist that says, I'm taking my art seriously, right? I'm taking my relationship seriously. So the Fool is a very good energy. It's sort of a freedom. It's a frivolity. It's a sort of happy-go-lucky energy. But the Prince of Cups is not really that. It's not so fun-loving and playful. The Prince of Cups is someone that takes their work seriously, takes their art seriously. And I think in the position of your environment, this is the way that you really do take your relationships seriously. That you value the connections that you have with others. And you want to keep them strong. That you want to share and have these intimate moments with people where you can be honest, you can be emotionally open and vulnerable. That you can share your true self with others. And they with you. And that those exchanges are sacred. It's not a joke. Someone tells you their deepest secret and you just crack a joke and laugh. No. That's rude, right? That'd be the Fool card. The Fool can be very inconsiderate. But this is a correction on that. This is a little bit of adjustment there so that you're not inconsiderate. Because you do value those relationships and you take those seriously. Someone tells you their deepest, darkest secret, and you're going to keep that secret. You're going to cherish that, and you're going to hold it sacred. You're going to honor and respect your relationships and the people around you. And that's very important to you. And I think this is crucial in your life right now. Because I do feel that you have a lot of people around you. You're not just the sort of the lone mountain goat. Because we have the 1, 2, 3 court cards. So yeah, it tells me that you do have a family situation. I don't think it's a huge family, but you've got some close people around you. Yeah. Now the Hanged Man is in this position of what we don't want. Now, we realize over here that, we don't want to keep suffering for things that, we're trying to let go of. And when we let go of something, it's kind of like we're letting go of the shame and the guilt of it too, right? That's the point of letting it go, that it doesn't affect us directly anymore. Now we know that the sword cards are still here. They're just hiding, right? So, we're not completely getting rid of those experiences. They will always be part of you, but we're letting go of those negative effects, that suffering, that punishment of them, okay? And when we're over here on the path of the dove, this card sort of becomes what we need, right? And what we need is, I think in this case, the trust fall with the universe. And again, these two cards are sort of mirror images of each other, and it's kind of like, to me, it sort of feels like if we are accepting the divine light into our lives, that means that we have to let that divine light carry us away. That we have to then sort of go with the flow. This card takes on a bit of a new meaning, that we are in a way sacrificing the ego, and we're trusting in the universe. This card's kind of the trust fall of the universe, right? That we're embracing the magical current, or the current of the river, right? And so in some ways, I kind of feel like this card needs to be flipped upside down, because now we're sort of flowing this way. That we're done with, punishment and sacrifice and suffering. Now we're sacrificing, but in a different way. Now we're sort of we're rising, we're ascending through that sort of sacrifice. That we have been redeemed. We've dipped down into the waters. Now we're coming up. It's a baptism by water, really, that card. And this is you now emerging from the water of that spiritual baptism. Okay? And what that brings us to is understanding where we're going. Getting an image, getting a vision of the future. The Knight of Pentacles is your superhero card. It's your ability to see long term. So I feel like you are getting a vision of who you are, where you are, and what you're going to be doing a week from now, a year from now, 5, 10 years from now. You're able to see the future. You're able to see where you are in the future. And I think from there, we sort of reverse engineer it. We work our way backwards, and we sort of understand. We can maybe sort of see the twists and turns of the river from here to that future. See, the Knight of Pentacles isn't moving. The Knight of Pentacles is looking out into the distance. There's no road out there. It's just wilderness. There's no road, right? I think what you're seeing is that there is a river. And it's just, you're on the river, and the river's going to take you where you need to go. This card is also about karma. We understand that all of our thoughts, words, and deeds, right now, in the present, is creating who we are going to be, where we're going to be, and what we're going to be doing in the future. So it is all about those choices right now, creating who we're going to be. Okay? So I feel like you're getting that sort of deeper insight and understanding about the nature of karma. Okay? That's going to help you achieve the best life for you. Now I want to look at the mystery card. We had some ideas, right? Empress energy, or unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be some swords. I feel like it's going to be a 6 of swords, but that's okay if it is. Okay? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. No, it's the 5 of Wands again. Okay, good. 5 of Wands is all about choices. It's all about our thoughts, words, and deeds. Right? It's all about you sort of, just by breathing, right? We're fighting against something. Just our act of breathing is creating new karma for us. And that's what the 5 is. The 5 is movement. It's change. The 4s would be us really not doing anything because we're afraid of creating any new karma. But we've got 5, and now we got another 5. So you're out here being active, doing things, making choices, having thoughts and words and deeds, right? But you understand the effect. You understand the karmic consequences of everything that you do. And so you're able to do, I would say the right thing, but the thing that's going to lead to the best possible karma. Now, ideally, it'd be no karma, that our actions don't create any new karma. But I feel that that's, more or less unattainable for most of us. So this is a great confirmation, because this shows that you're not abstaining from action. You're not abstaining from asserting yourself and doing things and taking action and pushing into the world and fighting for things. You just know you're being led, guided, whatever. You know what to fight for in your life. And I don't mean you're literally out there fighting for things, but I just mean making an impression. Every action is you imposing your will on the world. Every decision you make is you moving in one direction or the other. That's what I'm talking about, right? Fighting against gravity, fighting against the weight of our own bodies, trying to just breathe, right? Some of us struggle more than others. But this is, this is that positive effort and action. I like it. I think it is the perfect confirmation for our reading. I want to thank you for being here. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. All right. And subscribe to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Send your letters into the channel if you want them read on air. What else? If you don't want to watch the extended readings here, go over to the website, doveandserpenttarot.com. You can sign up over there. You can watch the extended readings over there if you wish. Same extendeds as you get here, but if you want to do it over there, you can. All right. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.